Lulzim Barsha announced from Elbasan an initiative of the Democratic Party to ensure vetting of politicians in a similar vein to the process which has occurred for judges, prosecutors and members of the police force. At the meeting with co-governance platform coordinators, Prime Minister Rama warned the country's mayors that if they do not solve the problems raised by the citizens, he will make their names and the accusation raised against them public. A formerly 9-year school in the village of Barç in the Kortra district will this year only be offering classes for students aged from grades 1 to 5. Good evening, it's 6 o'clock on Thursday the 6th of September 2018. Welcome to the English edition of Aura News. My name is Alexandra and I'm here to bring you the day's top stories from across the country translated into English. The Democratic Party leader Lulzim Barsha has issued accusations against family members of the Prime Minister, saying that people close to the majority will remain hostage until the end of the road, including that of Elbasan. Barsha claimed that the opposition was punished with the vote to be in opposition. At the second meeting outside the Albanian Assembly, but in another city with the problems in the field of order, such as Elbasan, there was again the absence of the Socialist Movement for Integration leader Monica Kruamadi, who is abroad. But the support on behalf of the SMI was given by the parliamentary group chairman, Petrit Vasili. The Democratic Party's proposal includes MPs, Prime Ministers, Ministers, Mayors and heads of constitutional institutions. Amendments to the Constitution require a qualified majority, indicating that the proposal is also needed for the votes of the ruling majority that is expected to express the request for this initiative. Durrës appeal prosecutor Bujar Hoti was the first to pass the vetting filters following the summer intermission. The hearing was chaired by Commissioner Lulzim Hamitai and members Brunilda Bekteshi, the relator for the case, and Olsi Komitsi. The prosecutor had preferred to be in attendance, accompanied by his lawyer, Julian Martiri. The High Inspectorate of Declaration, Audit of Assets and Conflict of Interests had submitted a positive report regarding the declaration of wealth for the prosecutor. Despite this, the Commission conducted a deeper investigation, finding problems with both the statements and justifications. According to the relator Bekteshi, the prosecutor Hoti declared that he owns a 157 square metre apartment and additional 30 square metres in the city of Durrës, worth 4,400,000 lek, purchased via a loan. Furthermore, his assets include an Audi A4 vehicle purchased for €6,500, 4,000 square metres of land at Spital in Durrës acquired by Law 7501, a notary office with a surface of 41.3 square metres, as well as an additional 19.6 square metres. One of Hoti's children also attended Oxford University in England, for which fees have been paid. From the Independent Qualification Commission's investigation, it turned out that the apartment owned by Hoti at the size of 157 square metres was commissioned in 2004 for a value of €70,000. The same has resulted for a garage, the contract for which has been revoked. The IQC has come to the conclusion that Hoti has made a declaration including a fictitious sale price for the apartment. The IQC added that regarding 4,000 square metres of land in Spital Durrës, Hoti's family left Cheret in Durrës in 1990 and, according to the law, should not have benefited from both the land and the flat in Durrës. Both Hoti and himself and his lawyer have claimed that his wealth is justified and therefore Hoti is seeking reconfirmation of duty. Also, the representative of the International Monitoring Operation, Theo Jacobs, has replied to Prosecutor Hoti, declaring that the prosecutor is trying to sell the IQC a panel scenario. According to him, the prosecutor's case has come as if he were going to buy bread and cake for the butcher. The decision for the prosecutor, who was also a candidate for the High Prosecution Council, will be handed down on September 10th. 13 kilometres of unfinished road in the Tirana-Elbasan segment will become operational this year. Minister of Infrastructure and Energy Damianjik Nouri, during his speech given at the parliamentary session, said that within this month a $16 million fund will be affected for the segment and will be accessible by asset managers within the year. The same will be for the Elbasan Road. Soon the Parliament will come up with an additional financing agreement to complete this road segment. I believe in September the decision will be approved by the Assembly and we will have the funds available to start work on this site. Within the year the tunnel connection will be possible and I believe within a few months the road will be completed with all the necessary parameters. A few days ago the procedure for solving congestion in parts of Elbasan has also been completed, said Damian Jiknouri. Minister Jiknouri stated, among other things, that within this month the works will begin on the bypass of Fear and Vlora. Nowadays, those procedures have gone to the EBRD for approval, so the tender procedures have been carried out transparently, the winners selected, and we are awaiting only the EBRD response. I am convinced that within a month these two projects will start. Next year, the bypass of Fear will be operational, added Damian Jiknouri. Minister Damian Jiknouri made these statements in response to allegations issued by the opposition leader Lulzim Barç during a meeting held in Elbasan. The co-governance platform has not been completely successful as, according to Prime Minister Rama, responses from the local government sector via this portal are almost non-existent. The head of the government, during a meeting with platform coordinators, warned mayors that he will publish the names of those who do not respond to citizens' complaints. I call on all mayors without distinction, but especially those of the opposition side, to take the measures and to answer the concerns raised by the platform, because we will call them both by name and surname, highlighting every case raised by citizens, said Rama. Property registration continues to be problematic, with more and more citizens raising issues with institutions but without receiving solutions. The head of the government indicated that, following citizen complaints, the head of FEAR's property registration office has been dismissed from office and that administrative investigations have begun for the office in Kavaya. When I saw this report today, I demanded the dismissal of the property registration director and the deepening of the administrative investigation for all those responsible for this kind of scheme, said Rama. By the end of September, Aloisni and the property registration officers should provide solutions to all overdue complaints and legalisations. Rama added that very soon these two institutions will be merged. All claims, overdue complaints and remaining legalisation permissions must be fulfilled. Those who deliver on these objectives will be honoured and respected. Those who do not meet will be asked to leave their post, said Rama. About 17,000 complaints were registered on the local government portal and as of August 31, 16,000 cases have been answered, while a further 1,000 are in the process of re-evaluation. Nursing this year was one of the most sought-after degrees by school leavers. However, many of those who chose nursing also choose to leave Albania and target foreign markets upon completion of their studies. Frank Salaku will start university studies with the Faculty of Nursing in October, and his choice is not unintentional. He believes that nursing provides excellent employment opportunities in the European market. Even Maggie's eyes are beyond Albania. Along with the selection she has made, which already guarantees better working and living conditions domestically, she is also determined to seek opportunities outside the borders at the end of her studies. About 700 nurses left Albania last year, and it seems that the rate of departure will continue at the same pace. Those who have not yet sat in the auditorium say that economics is the most likely reason that one would leave the country. According to the nursing order data, it turns out that every year about 550 new jobs are opened, while about 1,200 to 1,500 students graduate, thus creating a high number of unemployed. But beyond statistics, nursing is one of the most sought-after branches for students. From 240 places within the study program, about 200 graduates have already been registered. The Barç School in Korça will this year open its doors to students only in the earlier years of education. The continued decrease in the number of students year by year, according to the director, Raymond Bitsa, has forced the closure of grades from 6 to 9, as communicated by the Regional Directorate of Education. The idea is to close classes from the 6th to 9th grade, as this year we have just 32 students to teach across all these classes. From grades 1 to 5, we think it's best to continue with students their learning process process here in this school, said Raimonda Bitza. For students who will need to travel to continue their education in other schools, transportation will also be provided. The schools where they will be accommodated will provide a vehicle available from the Department of Education for these students to be sent to schools and to return home again, said Raimonda Bitza. On the other hand, the concern remains that the building is extremely dilapidated. Having been adapted from a former military ward, the school needs some TLC to avoid endangering the lives of children, especially during the freezing cold winters. A complete restructuring of the building is needed but is yet to be done, added Raimonda Bitza. Reducing the grade offerings has caused concern among parents that the school could be at risk of closure. The decision has been accepted by the Regional Education Directorate of Korcha, which is very reserved in providing information about the number of schools that are in danger of being completely closed in the southeast region. And that's the news across the country today. Thank you for watching our English edition this evening, and be sure to join me again every Monday to Saturday at 6 p.m. for the latest news from Albania. Once again, on behalf of Aura News, thank you and good night.